You've finally got some breathing room. There's a little extra money left at the end of the month, maybe a few $100s, and you're staring at a choice that feels impossible to get right. Do you throw it at your debt and finally start digging out? Or do you put it into the market before you lose another year of growth you can never get back? Most people just guess. They go with whatever feels better that week. And feelings are a terrible way to allocate money. Because here's the part nobody tells you. This isn't really a personality question. It's a math question, and there's a clean, almost boring answer that works for almost everyone. Pick the wrong order, and it doesn't just cost you a little. It quietly costs you thousands, sometimes tens of thousands, over the years it takes you to dig out. You can be earning 8% in the market while bleeding 22% on a credit card, and feel productive the whole time. So let's settle it, not with vibes, with the actual numbers. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly which dollar goes where, in what order, and why. No guessing required. Here's the single idea that makes this whole decision simple. It's a rate comparison. That's it. When you pay off a debt, you don't get a flashy return, but you get something rarer. Every dollar you put toward a loan earns you exactly that loan's interest rate, guaranteed. Pay off a card charging 22%, and you just locked in a 22% return, risk-free. There is nothing to forecast and nothing to lose. It is the closest thing to a sure thing in all of personal finance. Now investing. Over the long run, a broad stock market index has returned somewhere around 7% a year after inflation. That's a fantastic engine. But read the word carefully. Expected. It's an average over decades, not a promise for any given year. Some years it's up 30%. Some years it's down 20%. The 7% only shows up if you stay in your seat for a long time. So now the question gets sharp. You're comparing a guaranteed return, the interest rate on your debt, against an expected uncertain return of roughly 7%. Line those two numbers up side by side, and the right move usually picks itself. And notice how this quietly dissolves the debt is always bad mindset. Debt isn't good or evil. It's just a number. A 2% loan and a 22% loan are completely different animals, even though we lump them under the same scary word. Once you stop reacting to the word debt and start reading the rate, the emotion drains out, and the decision turns into simple arithmetic. Before we get into anything subtle, let's handle the moves that are never close. These two win every time, in every situation, so do them first, always. The first one isn't really debt or investing, it's free money. If your job offers a 401k match, say they put in 50 cents or a full dollar for every dollar you contribute up to some limit, you grab that before anything else. A dollar-for-dollar match is an instant 100% return, before the market does a single thing. No debt rate on earth beats that. Turning it down is leaving part of your paycheck on the table. The second clear win is high-interest debt. We're talking credit cards and the like, often charging 20% or more. Remember factor one, paying that off is a guaranteed 20-something% return. There is no investment, none, that reliably beats a guaranteed 20%. So when you've got a balance at that rate, the math isn't a debate. Crush it. So the order at the top is locked. Capture any match, then kill the high-interest debt. Only once those two are handled do we even reach an interesting question. And here's why this order matters so much. High-interest debt grows in the background whether you pay attention or not. Every month you leave a 22% balance sitting there, it's compounding against you. The exact same force that's supposed to be building your wealth is instead quietly dismantling it. Knocking it out isn't just smart, it's the highest guaranteed return move available to anyone, anywhere. Get this part wrong, and nothing downstream can save you. Now for the part that actually trips people up, the gray zone. Not all debt is a screaming 22% emergency. A lot of it sits in the middle, roughly 4 to 7%. Think many student loans, some car loans, a few personal loans. And this is exactly where the clean answer gets fuzzy. On purpose. Look back at our two numbers. Investing has an expected return of around 7%. If your debt charges, say, 5%, then paying it off is a guaranteed 5%, while investing might earn you about 7%, but might not. You're trading a sure thing for a slightly higher, maybe. When those numbers are that close, there's no clear winner. It's basically a tie. So in the gray zone, you get to choose based on something the math can't measure: how you're wired. If debt stresses you out and you'd sleep better watching the balance shrink, pay it down. The guaranteed return is real, and the peace of mind is a genuine bonus. If you're comfortable with ups and downs and want to lean into long-run growth, invest. Or just split it. Send some to each. There's no wrong answer here, and that's the whole point. There's one thing that comes before you go aggressive on either path. And skipping it is how people end up right back where they started. Before you funnel every spare dollar into debt or investments, park a small starter emergency fund somewhere safe and reachable. Not a full 6 months of expenses, just a buffer. Something like $1,000 or 1 month of basic costs, sitting in a high-yield savings account. Why does this come first? Because life doesn't care about your plan. A flat tire, a surprise vet bill, a busted phone, these aren't if, they're when. And if you've thrown every cent at your loans with nothing in reserve, that surprise goes straight onto the credit card. Now you've manufactured brand new high-interest debt to dig out of. The exact thing you were trying to escape. All that progress undone in one bad week. A small buffer breaks that loop. It's the shock absorber that lets your real strategy actually run without getting derailed. So fund the starter cushion first. It's not the exciting part, but it's the part that keeps everything else from falling apart. Let's put it all together into one clean order of operations. The sequence that tells every spare dollar exactly where to go. Step 1. Grab the full 401k match. It's an instant 100% return, so nothing comes before it. Step 2. Build that small starter buffer, so a surprise can't knock you back onto the credit card. Step 3. Annihilate your high-interest debt. Anything around 20% or more? Because no investment reliably beats that guaranteed return. Step 4 is where you finally reach the gray zone, and here the two paths run side by side. You invest for the long term, and you chip away at any remaining low and mid-rate debt, in whatever blend fits your numbers and your nerves. Once your guaranteed wins are banked, this is the stretch where personal preference is genuinely allowed to drive. That's the whole waterfall. Match buffer, high-interest debt, then invest and clear the low-rate stuff. Each level fills before the next one gets a drop. Follow it from the top and you're no longer guessing. You're just pouring each dollar into the highest return spot available at that moment. The decision that felt impossible at the start becomes a simple checklist. So here's the math that settles it. The whole thing is a rate comparison. Paying debt is a guaranteed return equal to its interest rate, while investing is an expected return of roughly 7%. Powerful, but uncertain. That gives you a clear order. Always grab the 401k match first. It's free money. Always kill high-interest debt next, because nothing beats a guaranteed 20+%. Keep a small buffer in place, so a surprise can't reset your progress. And in the gray zone, that 4 to 7% middle, it's close enough to a tie that you can split it or just go with what lets you sleep at night. Match, buffer, high-interest debt, then invest and clear the low-rate stuff. Follow that waterfall, and you'll never agonize over a spare dollar again. You'll already know exactly where it goes. If this turned a stressful, gut-feel decision into something you can actually reason through, hit subscribe. That's the whole point of this channel. The money stuff nobody ever bothered to explain. Next up, the financial order of operations. A complete map of exactly where every single dollar should go, from your first paycheck to financial freedom. I'll see you there.